Return there. Alrighty. We are up to date. So I was trying some things last night because the whole quest thing is kind of eluding me in regards to how the code works for it. Now I had read, I went and watched a couple videos, and there's one that I really liked in regards to making our quests an array instead of having it as individual code. And I think I'm going to try that. So in regards to setting up, because it also looks like we could do multiples for different things. So I'm going to try to see about setting all of our quests up in arrays. And what I want to do is I want to do an array for each level so that they're kept together and all that. It also makes it really, really easy to then just kind of map them out. Yeah, apparently you can set it up as an array, yeah. There was a, God, who put out, I need to look up who put that video out, because it's an older video, but it looks like it'll still work. So I'm going to do some tests this weekend in regards to making it work. Let me see what it was called here again. Look at history. Yeah, looking for history. History. Where is my history? Got to go over there. It was made by Friendly Cosmonaut. It's part 1 and part 2, and it's a quest system. So I want to explore that this weekend and see if we can make it work. Because it, I don't, and I'll show you where I was on this. Let me do a build real quick of what I was working on last night, trying to get this thing to work. And it works, but it doesn't work, if that makes sense. So we're gonna pull the build up from last night, and I'll show you kind of where I'm at and where things are sitting, because I'm just not. It and I are not happy with each other. Okay, where's our logos? Now let's Twitch alerts logo. Take the logo down. Put this up. Get our game. Game should come up in a second. Unless it doesn't see it, which is possible. Okay. And then turn that off. Wait for our game to come up. No, that's... Yeah. Why is our game not coming up? Because I didn't turn that on. Okay, so I had gone through and I made it close by him. So now he does ask for the right thing. Help, my leg is broken. I can't walk. Could you bring me some reeds? And you say yes. And he says thanks. And then he says, you've been very helpful. So we can go and we can get the reeds. And I can pick them up. And I can go back to him. And he's going to turn into the nurse, because I was testing changing him once so that he has his cast on his leg, but I didn't do the art. So he does change. He goes, you brought me reeds without even asking, blah, 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 blah. You have already saved my life and are a true hero. So he turns into that because I didn't have wanted to change him into standing with the cast, but it worked. The problem is that the way the quests are done in the old system, which is what the tutorial I was working on does them in, seems to be different. Because now, like all of our other quests that we've set up, like if we go to him now, he thinks we've already talked to him, even though these are separate scripts. For some reason, he still thinks we've already talked to him. And he's already asked for his hat. Same thing with our otter, is you can't just apparently cut and paste the thing. But the system that I was looking at last night by this other person, it seems to work. See, so that works, but it doesn't work a second time. So if I pick up another piece, it just says, okay, well, you found it, but nothing happens. So, but the second we leave the room, it completely resets. So our questing system doesn't work. But that's okay, because it gives us an opportunity to learn. I also put everything close by because I wanted to be able to do it quickly. So see, now you found my hat. And then now it's like, okay. But his hat stays. So what I think I need to do is, there's a lot of things I need to do. You want to have it as one whole thing. Yes. Because there's two things we can do. We can put it here as bring the pieces back to this box and have a box in front of the otter, and then they can put it all together at the same time. You know, but my problem is just the quests seem to be overlapping each other somewhere in the code, and I'm not exactly sure why. It's like every now and then he even will he'll even ask me stupid shit. Okay, now it's all lining up, but it doesn't work. So what I saw on this other thing was this is, let's figure out what all of our quests are going to be. And it came up for a second here, but let's build a map for it so that we can do that. So we can say what level it is. We can map them all out by stepping through. And I think we did something similar to this the other day, but not to this degree. Because what I want to do is I want to explore the concept of the array, of it being all of our quests being in an array. So like if we go back to, they're probably saved over the same values. Yeah, I think that's probably part of the problem, and we will have to explore that, because that's what I was learning about this is. But it's weird though, there's several things missing, and I have to work it through. Because there's two things. There's the normal things that the NPCs can ask you, like just day-to-day stuff or talking to you, and then there's the quests. And I think, yeah, somewhere the code is intertwined, and it's mixing them all up. Which places when you don't want to have the array be on a per level basis. No, not like when I say levels, I'm talking about advancement levels. So when you're a level 1, you can do these quests. When you're a level 2, you can do these quests. But my theory is that as you advance, just for cleanliness sake, we could say, here's all level 1 quests, here's all level 2, here's all level 3. But like I said, I'm still have to explore that. Saves the progress. Yeah. Yep. It sure does. Even though I've changed the name of it. Yeah, it still does. Yeah, I know it is apparent, the curse thing. Apparently a cursed thing to do, but it's small projects. I believe singleton class works well for game state. Okay. I'll have to look that up. Let me write that down. Yeah, because that's a whole nother thing that I need to find out how to, when we, like say we put the fountain together, it seems to reset every time we leave the thing. So I have to find out how to transfer that data to the main But we're going to walk through this a little bit. So let me do this. Let me put this over here. And then we're going to open the game back up and start over. Boop, 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 boop. Back to the beginning here. Start that. Put together a split screen. Oh. Well, I'll set it up while that's happening. Let's put this on top. We only need a couple of lines at the top. We don't need that whole top end up there. Oh, what we need is say from here. Move this up here. Get our game. Move it down here. A little bit smaller, maybe. Okay, that's where we'll start after the zombie attack. And then we'll just start new game. On my screen, it's much bigger. And let me go. I'll be right back real quick. Let me run in the other room. Take mute off, of course. Okay, so here's my theory. Is if we step through the game again, and as we're going through, name the objectives and all that stuff for each quest that leads us up to the thing. So let's do this. Let's start that and go to start new, which will put us up in the top left corner. Oh no, that's right, because I moved us. Okay. Basically, we start up here. When we come in the game, you can pick up the rock and throw it and get $1. You know, go over here, kill that guy off. Can't do anything there because we don't have the ability to take them out. Oh, there's a body. Okay, so the first thing is, the way I'm gonna write this out is it's a level 1. The name of it is Steve's Leg is what we'll call it for right now. The source is Steve. Objective, reads, and wood. Okay, result, split for Steve. So that's basically the structure I want to kind of lay everything out in. So I know we did not a walkthrough. Yeah, well, I guess we did a walkthrough before, but it was all kind of all over the place. So, but this I thought, from what I'm seeing on how to set up the array, this looks like the right way to do it. And hopefully it'll keep it a little bit cleaner. We also have to take, I want to take all of the code. Once we put the code together, I want to put all the code for level 1 stuff in the level 1, in a level 1 dialog box or in a level 1 script, so that it's all together and and they're just functions in the same script. So that is the overall plan. Okay, so that is that. Oh, actually, we should probably put. Let's add something in here. Insert. We'll say options. No, that doesn't make sense. Never mind. We'll just do it this. We'll just do this. Okay, so we can fix these legs if we can get a piece, of course. He has his stuff. He turns it just for the right now, because that's another thing that the array thing talks about is you can have multiple objects. You need to get multiple objectives on a quest if you do by setting it up as an array, and that's one thing that we need once we get to the statues as well, because we need to be able to go and collect multiple things. But it's a tutorial that I have to do still, but we're all good. Okay, so there's no really other things here. Then we have the cat. The cat is, see, hello, we're looking for adventurer. Yeah, so we have the cat. He's a level 1. Let's collect cat hat. Cat hat for now. Scat hat? No. God, fingers just are not working today. Cat hat, and it is just orange cat. Okay, orange cat. He wants his hat. He wants his hat on his head. So it's just a single thing. Okay. Okay, go in here. There's nothing in here. We're just looking around. There's no things. There's no quest or anything in here we have to do. Okay. So we go to the nurse. Now she tells us the things that she needs. She needs the stuff we've already gotten. But I think that we still need to put it in the quest because it's still, because that's where he went. Is he went to go get meds. And that is for the nurse. And so his meds. Okay. Okay. Then she sends us into town. I generally prefer case classes, but either works. One might be more responsive than the other based on the script language, but that's about it. Are we leaving Storyline where we stole one of the fisherman's boats and tried to sneak out to sea? No, we're not. That we haven't even got there yet. I think that's that. I don't think that's a level 1 type situation. That's not the first our main path in the first one. The main path of the first one is just get to the point where we are looking for get on the trail of finding Grandpa. We start to, and then we get to the fountain to build the fountain. After that, yes, we still have all the other things that we talked about. It's still in the design doc. So we just need to sort that all out from once we get to level 1, because right now we're technically at level 0. So all I know is that apparently this becomes exponentially more work as project grows, which is why it's only good for small projects. Yeah. But we don't know how big this one's going to be yet, so there is that. Let me move you guys over here so I can see the chat better. Okay, that's better. So I can go left to right here. Okay. So we have that. And give the nurse the meds, which are meds we already have. So it's not like a go and get it and bring it back. We don't have anything down here yet for him to look through town. Or look through the village, the towns differently. We don't have anything for the Lorax yet. We go into town. Level 1. That would be boys, the boy. He needs axes. Boy, what's axes? To get axes, then that he wants us to go to go blacksmith, and he needs hard rocks. And wood. So something like that, yeah. So should our player decide that they're going to run over him, that might be true. Okay, you guys are talking with yourself. Okay, are we leaving the? No, we're not leaving that storyline. We're still way in the beginning of this thing. So he has the choice now to continue looking for the sheriff or go down here and get the axes made. But the blacksmith. So the blacksmith is. We need to go to the blacksmith and ask for axes. So that's where he is. Okay. He does not have axes on the shelf, but we could put a couple on the shelf and then make it to where he has to make it for it anyways. But as far as for this guy, if it'll let us talk to him, I have to increase their bounding box so we can get them. Technically, this isn't a quest. He just says go to the priest, so we don't have to really do anything there. You know, you go to the clergyman priest guy. You know, he gives us. Let's see. I should probably put. Now that I'm thinking about this. Okay. We might want to put location. Ovation. Just put for location. That way if they send us somewhere, we can go there. So we know that for Steve, it's in the forest. For the cat, they send us to the cave. For the nurse, we just clinic. For the boy, it's town square. Hill Square for blacksmith. It's at the blacksmith. Or rather, in the forest is where he'll go. Because you need to go get wood and rocks. That's what I mean. It's the location of what we have to go get. Okay, so now we have incense. We go back out. We need matches from the matchstick girl. Matchstick girl, and what she needs is sulfur. She needs wax. She needs wax. She needs sulfur. Sulfur, and she needs potassium. Potassium. And then so we know make matches. And the location is, what is this map called again? Because there's two. There's the cave, and then there's this, the beehives. Let's just call it the forest. Okay, I don't want to miss that. That guy Bruce, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, so in the forest and in the cave. Because the bees are there next to her. We'll just go the bee farm. We'll call it the bee farm for now. I'll rename it later. So it can be the bee farm. Let's clean this up. Okay. Here's what, that should be part of the main quest though. And those text lines should be active while on a specific main quest. Maybe start it by talking to the nurse for the moment. Oh, you mean the nurse one? Yeah, because the meds that she's asking for are the meds that you went to go get. You're coming back from that. So, because your grandfather sent you to get, I don't know if you remember, but the grandfather sent him to get some meds from the forest or from it used to be the faraway town, but we got rid of the faraway town. Oh, I mean the one for the sheriff, for example. Oh, to go to the sheriff. Yeah. That's because those are two different things. So yeah, let's do this. See, Sharif. No real things. Go to town and then town. Because we could even put it in that deliver meds. Because it could be a second objective. Because one of the things that I was looking at was they were putting more than one objective into one script. So he can give her the meds, and then she could send him to the sheriff in the same quest. And then, at least this is my understanding. Like I said, I will have to try different things, but I think that something like that could be good, because then, yeah. I have no idea how the smallest country can have the biggest tram line, but they do. Okay, because he won't be able to light incense at Odin's thing until he has the matches. Both the matches and the hat are in the cave. So, yeah. Luxembourg is a town pretending to be a country. Okay, I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but good for them. Okay, so wax to hold it all together. She can also make candles. The wax is on this thing, so he'll have to go and get some wax from these. We probably put too many of those in, but whatever. Okay, and then we go here. And the otter is, okay, so this is still level 1. It's called, Fountain Build. My eye just keeps itching. It's with otter. And what they need is piece 1, piece 2, and piece 3. And piece 4. The result. Working fountain, and that is in the family graveyard is what we have it called right now, but we'll rename it. So we'll fix that later. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now, yeah, like I said, I got it to where it will put it together once. It just doesn't do it a second time, and this is what this array thing is supposed to be able to do, is you can have multiple things for what you need. So there's 2 ways we could do this. Is I was thinking about the fact that we don't know what order the player will bring stuff back in. So what if we don't use the literal pieces for the artwork? What we use is we just use like this. If I make not this particular rock, but something like it, where go find me the pieces, or they pick up a piece that looks just like a bunch of broken rock, and then we bring it back, and the otter mixes it with the water of the fountain, and then it puts itself back together, type thing. I think that would be kind of cool. That also saves us having to worry about what order pieces come back in. But we'll see how that goes. So, or what we could do is have him just throw a piece in the water. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. We need 4 pieces. The 4 pieces put the fountain back together. That's what the quest is. So now he has the fountain. Then we can use all the storyline stuff will go with the fountain. Hopefully the fountain will, before we leave this page, we should have put the fountain completely back together, which means the fountain will be fully together by the time we get back. But as you see, it isn't. But so now he has to go, okay, I need phosphate and I need the hat for the cat. Oh, can't do that yet. So things that we forgot. There's things that he's going to need before he can go in the cave, and before he needs the hook. We'll just put other needs and call this he needs a bow, the hook, and the bombs, because he needs the bombs to be able to open up the cave. He needs the hook to be able to get across the chasms, and then he needs the... But that doesn't necessarily mean that it goes in the array. But if we're going to put it together hints, then this information would be good to have. So put this down here. Which means he has to get money and stuff like that, but which the way I have things set right now is not that difficult to do. There he now has enough money to get everything. Okay. Why is the name covered? Interesting. Get my event list so I can do a shout out here. R2ADHD2, thank you very much for the follow. Okay, so we just need the bombs, purchase them. So now we can run over there. Yeah, because I realized with both the fountain and with Steve that we're saying to bring multiple things back in order for to be successful with the things that he's asking us to do. Let's see, how many arrows do we have? 15, 5 bombs. We need a few more arrows. Let's go back here and farm the woods. Okay, that's all it gave us, really? Only 20? I guess I need to turn the arrows up more. One more pass to try to get more arrows, and then we'll go. Okay, that's good enough. So yeah, so he needs the hooks, he needs the bow, he needs the hooks, he needs all of those things. My lip is doing that weird thing again where it's swollen up. It happens like every 2 weeks or something, but I don't know why yet. So who knows? Obviously, it's something I ate. Today we had the one about the tram, and the answer was, "Hey, what's up?" PM, we put. Are we still going on about the train thing? Sorry, I'm catching up on this conversation. Oh my God, you actually make a spreadsheet for the things you need for quests and don't just try to keep it. Well, when I try to keep it all in my mind, I forget it. In all honesty. In fact, this whole sheet, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's several things on this spreadsheet if you look at the tabs. We have the stuff that we talked about last week, which are things that you can do in the woods and stuff like that. And we'll be building things like that. So things you have to go do, all that stuff is where we put together before. I'm just now starting to build the quest one. We also have one that's just for math. We have our credits list, which we add people that help out. We do add to the credits list. And then we do have, this one was one I was experimenting with, but I'm not really happy with it. And then we just do the breakdown of all of our characters, and then story points, which these were the old story points. We've made a lot of improvements in them, so we'll be adding those improvements to it. Game flow is obvious another one. Family crypt, which used to be the family crypt, now we've turned it into different gods. People in the village, what's going on with the village and all that. This is all old stuff, so we have to do some updates on it, but it's basically there. And then graveyards, these are all the things that are on the tombstones. So if we go to the regular graveyard, which I think we can still get to, we have a lot of tombstones. I think we can still get to the regular graveyard on the upside of town. And a lot of the what's written on the tombstones was submitted by you guys, or by one guy, but let's see. So if we go up here to the regular graveyard, every tombstone has a saying with it and stuff like that. So yeah, I think spreadsheets are very, very helpful. It's just something that I like to do. Yep, yep, yep. It's just me trying to keep things straight. And I still have to go back and clean it all up because there's really too much on it right now. And I have it kind of spread out all over the place, so that it's not concatenated into something that actually would make sense of anybody looking at it. So, but yeah, we started putting them together. And then we changed the story, like I said, and still have to update the storylines and stuff like that in here. Some of it is still the same, some of it is not. So if we go to the Strictly and Flow family, where did I put it? Story points. So he's still a boy, still lives with his grandfather, still goes and comes back, and his grandpa is gone. And then he begins his search, and that's where we're at. But yeah, we're getting there. And then we were working on his main path. Now I'm writing out a spreadsheet of the quests that are on that main path. And we put that main path together in Miro a while back. Oh, that was weird. Miro almost didn't let me in. That's also awfuls. Let's pull this up. So this was our Miro board where we were putting everything together. But we had come over here. You can see there's a lot here. We had come here and we started building the main path. And this is his main path up into where he meets the otter and has to build stuff. So what we're doing is we're putting it together quests that are on this main path. So this is where he finds Steve in the forest. And then he decides either to help Steve or not help Steve. Then he goes home. Granddad's not there. The house is halfway destroyed. Goes to the clinic. Nurse tells him that some men came and took Granddad. So Jesse goes to the sheriff. Goes to town. Asks villager where the sheriff is. Enters town hall. Sheriff is a dick and chases him away. So he's alone in town. And then this is where right now I have the sheriff telling him to go, but if he saves Steve, then Steve would be in the town square, and Steve would be the one that tell him to go to the clergyman. Yes, but that's okay. We can use them in other places. Yeah, Sparta is one that gave us a lot of the tombstones. Yeah, so the sheriff basically tells him to get lost, and then and sends him to the priest, but he doesn't have to send him to the priest. The kid can come back out of town hall, and if he saves Steve, then Steve would be there to say, thank you for helping me. You should go see the priest, that kind of thing. So he goes to the priest, and basically he has to look for this priest for spiritual answers, and he looks for Steve for things in the physical world, so that Steve will be your linchpin for any time you get stuck. You can always go to Steve. So Steve will be a continuous touch point. Like I said, only if you save him. If not, then you'll be haunted by his ghost later, and it won't be all that helpful. He sends him to the altars and the temples. Goes to the altars. Altars are all broken. Meets the otter. The otter tells him that he has to fix the fountain before the altars can be fixed, because the fountain can tell him where all the pieces for the broken altars are. So he fixes that and then fixes Ultra One. And, then he has his incense, he has his matches, he has all that stuff, but he can't burn him at Odin's altar because the altar isn't put together. So he returns the stones, the altar's put back together, and then each one then sends him on his merry way. And these are the things that we cut out after we changed some of the storyline. Talks to the boy with the axe, talk to Steve, you know. And then these are all the story points, the new story points, in regards to the uncle and the grandfather and their story, and all that stuff is in here. So, but yeah, we put it all together. I thought we put it together pretty nice, and we started to make an attempt at the quest thing, but I think that putting it together in array form instead of just like this way kind of makes more sense to me, and it's cleaner. I was having a lot of problems not figuring out, but having a lot of problems just trying to write stuff in here where I'm really comfortable with spreadsheets. I'm not real comfortable with spreadsheet type things in there. No problem. Yeah, I'm going in. The lurk needs to finish the theory about arc rectors. Yeah. Oh, my lip is just... I'm obviously allergic to something, but I have yet to figure it out, because it only happens like once every 2 or 3 weeks. So it's not anything that I eat every day. But you guys remember the one time, like, this lip got really big, and then like a couple weeks ago my lip got big here, and then it slowly moved all the way around. Now it's just, this top lip is just like, what the hell's going on? It's the herpes. No, it's not the herpes. I got no herpes. Because whatever it is, it never breaks the skin. So, it's just an allergic reaction to something, but I don't know what. The only thing that I had today, it was different from what I had every day, is I had some old Clark bar, like Reese's peanut butter cup type things. They're not Reese's, but they're Clark bar, and they're horrible. You know, but I didn't have anything else in the house. Time to go on a quick trip to the UK to see what the NHS has to say. It'd be funny if I could, but I don't think I can. Too much Viking soda. That could be. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing, is building the quest thing. Just made sense from the stuff that I was looking at right now. So in the first levels of quest, this is pretty much what it is. There's basically 7 quests. Is it 7 or 8? It's 8. No, that's 7. Sorry. There's 7 quests that basically set the foundation for everything. It allows you to get... Actually, there is 8, because we have to go... You have to go to the blacksmith and buy our equipment, this equipment here. Which is all of his base equipment. The source of the quest would probably be... It'd have to be someone that's sending him to the cave, so it might be the cat. The cat tells him. Yeah, the orange cat would probably be the one to tell him that. Orange cat. Objective, get hook. Get bow. Bow, and then... What was the other one? Oh, bombs. The bombs. We need to go to the okay, base equipment. Base equipment, and it is in Town Square. And it basically sends him to buy equipment. Ba, 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 ba. Pickaxes. He'll need to go to the blacksmith. We'll just put blacksmith, not in town, but yeah. So yeah, so there's 8 basic quests in level, from level 0 to 1, which is what we're at. Sick when you book your appointment, So those are our basics. This is what I'll be testing out the array on this weekend, because I'm going to go through this tutorial of how they're doing it and see if I can learn how to set it up that way, just because it to me it'll just keep it cleaner. But if we figure there's other things that we can add, because like when he's even searching in town, there's a lot of other places for him to go and all that, and we need to talk about that. But we will build other things, because like there's a school here, and the school marm is in there. I teach your kids. And then there is the leader guy. And this one is the boarding house. Okay. And then we have the stable guy. So, and eventually we will ride horses and stuff like that. We just can't right now. So this is the butcher, sorry, the blacksmith. So all these things can be later be helpful for giving him things to do. And we've already bought everything here. So. We got the okay. There's our waitress and our bartender. Yeah, so we have all the people in town already all set up. So now we just have to think of things that they need to do. And what level they're going to be on and stuff like that. Ads are coming up. Oh, there he is. Okay. Doop, doop, doop. So I don't know what the hell I'm allergic to. That's weird. Because like I said, it doesn't happen every day. I'm allergic to me. But if this array thing works, it's going to be a lot easier for me to keep all of our quests in the same place, making sure that they're not interacting with each other. I'm not allergic to chat. Here's a question, and maybe you guys know. I don't know. Is there a way to have chat actually talk? So when you type something in, like say, chat, he's allergic to us, can OBS read that and say, Sparta, chat is allergic to us? Does that work with chat, or does it only work if you put it into the system? Ask Thor about... Not OBS, I think. Needs something else to look at the messages. Okay. Well, he does, but isn't that submitted through another system, not through chat? I don't know his setup, so. So if I turn on, can I on chat? Can I turn on text to speak on chat? Where's the settings for this? Let's see if it works. If it's that simple, I'll do that because I have a tendency to get lost in what I'm doing. Okay. Subscribers only now. Follow only chat. Slow mode off. Pause chat. Delete messages. Chat highlights. Appearances. No, there doesn't seem to be a read aloud. Screen read auto announcement. No, that's something else. No, it doesn't look like there's something. So Jason gets Nightbot to look at chat and any message that meets his requirements. You could leave NTS to be automatic. So, okay, well, let's look at Nightbot. Is that? I know I have that. I also have the streamer bot do something like that as well. Okay, it looks like streamer bot does keep the chat, does have a chat separate window. And it looks like the same thing. Probably doing something similar. And you can give the voice almost an accent. I don't care what accent it is, just as long as I can hear it and understand it. Streamer bot and speaker bot. Okay, I have streamer bot. Let's see what it does for. I'll have to look that up after the show as well. Because I'm looking for ways to make what you guys are saying more audibly interactive so that I hear it. Because even when I'm playing the games, it's becoming a problem that I'm not talking, you know, and that you guys are not, anything that you guys are asking, I'm missing. So I do have streamer bot right here, but I don't see. Okay. I'd probably have to create a new action. Yeah, he's always busy though, so I couldn't really get hold of him now and then. Yeah, we'll try some things out. You know, but what's the worst that can be, right? If we create a new, call it Talk to Me. just going to call it talk to me for now. We're not going to enable it, and it doesn't need a group. That does. We'll just make it talking up, speak up. We'll call it that for now. Right now, it will not be enabled. We'll enable it later. And then that gives us at least a place to start. Because the source would obviously be Twitch chat. There's a mode here. Follower, unique mode. Yeah, I'll have to look things up, see what it does. By the way, Earjoy, next time you talk to Thor, be sure to tell him I'm not sure what that's about, so I'm not going to tell him that. I'm not here to send messages that I do not understand to the boy. Yes, I understand the reference, but I don't understand it in regards to what that reference is on his show. Because though it may be an innocent Dune reference in the outside world, it may have everlasting complications to the specific Thor audience of goblins. Okay, so basically I have to find this thing, SpeakerBot, and see if we can do that. Yeah, unfortunately, you have to be careful when you're transferring messages around from one place to another, because people, if you don't fully understand the reference of what you're sending, and yes, it can be an innocent thing, like, oh my God, you just sent me something about Care Bears. But it could be something about something bad about Care Bears in that other audience. So I don't know. I wouldn't do that, but Sparta is right. I'll not ask something like that again. No worries. Yeah. SpeakerBot. Because I've had a couple times when Thor and I were talking independently, or Jason and I were talking, and I had said something that someone had mentioned, and he goes, do you know what that means? I go, well, it's just about this, and he goes, no. Here's the backstory on it, Dad. You shouldn't say that. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, and I don't want to get in that kind of situation with him, because that's just silly. I've got enough stuff to think about. Yes, it is 100% between him and I. It's usually me checking on him to make sure he's okay and all that kind of stuff. Seeing if there's anything I can do to help. As a father would and should. How to install, set up, and understand SpeakerBot. Okay, I will watch that video later. Saving that video. Yeah, okay. I will look at that so that starting next week, hopefully we can actually have conversations. That could be good. It'll be a robot voice, but that's okay. Just a side note, he's got all the support of the yearlings, and we think he's doing awesome. I agree, and I have told him that. And I've showed him some of the very kind things that you guys have said, that he has a pretty good support in his world as well, but unfortunately, there's a percentage of them that aren't supportive. So he is a good kid. He's my boy. I love my boy. Yeah, he's quite awesome. Very awesome kid. God, the fat top lip. It's funny because this will go away in the next couple hours. But It is here now. Let's see. Haters gotta hate. Yeah, what I used to call them is the one percenters. And this is something I was talking about with a friend the other day. Is back in the early 90s, 1% of the people that were online were kind of dicks. You know, they were just looking for trouble. You know, and it's still 1%, but here's the issue. Or I used to call them the 1% of one percenters, is because back then that's what the percentage kind of broke down to. And it was only of the 100,000 people that were online, we'll say 100 of them were just there to be assholes. You know, the problem is that from 1990s to now, it's that you have to look at it from the standpoint of now, instead of hundreds of thousands of people having internet access and online, now millions and billions of people are online. So that 1% of 1% goes from a couple hundred people or 100 people to hundreds of thousands of people that are just being dicks. You know, because unfortunately the people that weren't online in the beginning now, and the ones that were, I'm going to say below middle class that didn't have internet. I don't mean that in a rude way. I'm just trying to draw a line here. You know, my family's people, the rednecks, are now have internet access and go and fuck with everybody. You know, so aside from that, the filter of decency has degraded over the years. Well, yes and no. It's now the percentage is much higher. The problem is that it hasn't. There's now. They now think they have authority to be able to go in and basically call people names and berate them till the end of time, just because they can. You know, but it's sad. It's sad because the internet has a possibility of leveling up everybody, and it's not. Some people just are angry and are. The 1% is now, like I said, hundreds of thousands of people, even millions of people that are just, I'm here to stir the pot. And I will keep stirring it until you all abandon me. Okay, so if this is... Okay, let's go back to it. So yeah, so now that I have a basic list of the first 8 quests and or things that our guy has to do, interactions, we'll call them interactions right now, then we're actually in pretty good shape there. Sorry, just trying to even that out. Thank you, Daddy, for the stirring the pot meme. Very, very. The village idiot managed to contact another thanks to the internet. Yeah. And they are the ones that can bond the fastest as they have less to think about. I can see the logic behind that. But it's sad because, like I said, is having access to more knowledge than any other time in human history is amazing. But we as humans, unfortunately, make it a negative. Yeah, and they can talk, the village idiots, and then can have village idiot conventions and decide how to be even bigger idiots to the people around them. It's sad because everybody could be using the internet to become better, smarter, all that kind of stuff. but they just don't. A lot of us just don't. Another side note here. These types of talks are very good, quite engaging, and why I kind of want to do the last Friday segment. Yeah, and we've set that up. I think that the image that was used in the Discord is a little bit misleading, and I'll talk to Savvy about that. And that the name of the... Oh, shit. Okay, I thought I sent that. Okay. Is the name of the Discord channel is Last Friday Chat. It gives the impression that we're talking about last Friday's chat, not the last Friday of the month chat. And then the image in there is, does anybody have any ideas? It's more about, okay, what do you want to talk about? Would probably be a little bit more accurate if we get a meme of Final Friday. Yeah, but I'll talk to Savvy about that because yeah. Since you are a third artist, I would be cool if you do some art on stream and talk us through it. Oh, it could be. But yeah, so that's what that is about. I would probably call it Friday Chat. And then at the top, we change it to Last Friday Chat. This, it does say in here, this is the start of Last Friday Chat. This final Friday of each month, YourJoy does a just chatting stream where he is open to discussing things, suggest. Okay, she put it all right at the top, but anybody that just does first glance, I think that the South Park meme there is can be misleading for anybody that doesn't read the paragraph at the top. Should I start picking up some slack and just put up some walls of text to explain the... No! Walls of text don't always help. What's up? Long time me no watch stream. Ah! Apparent apparition has appeared. Let's save this, because we are getting pretty close to our time limit. Yeah, it's funny. The lip thing is just kind of driving me crazy because it had been so long since this happened. I didn't even mention to the doctor when I was there the other day. And so I don't know if it's important or not. I'll have to write him. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, and then we'll have to put also make some sulfur and some potassium for putting in the cave, because the potassium will be on the wall, sulfur will be on the ground or something. Make a spreadsheet of random medical occurrences and then send it to your doctor. Well, I have spreadsheets for blood tests and all that other stuff, going back to even when I was with the NHS back there. Yes, because I had some issues there that they were amazing to take care of. Now I'm just itchy, but I think that's because of my flu shot, my tetanus shot. So yeah, so the code part, I'll see what I can do about fixing it, and then if I can get it working, then we will do a complete review of it on Monday. Yeah, we'll see how much time I have to be able to do it. Yeah, just make a your health spreadsheet. There's your sheet. My health. One. Idiot. I don't know if he can fix that one, but at least I should let him know. Let's make it big. Yeah, I don't know if that one's fixable. Lip issue. Three. Fat. There you go. There's the majority of them. So I'm a fat, itchy idiot with a fat lip. There you go. That is what it is. A fat, itchy idiot with a fat lip. Imagine having a job where you have to issue lips. I mean, what's funny is I actually did just imagine that. So the person comes up, you look at their face, and you go, oh, you need a size 3. There you go. Try those. And then there's the other ones where they come up and then you go, oh, you need the special supersized wax lip version. There you go. There's your lips. Yeah, but some plastic surgeons, I don't think that they're actually looking at what they're doing. But what I've learned is living in LA, in that area, is after a while, everybody that has plastic surgery of some kind, as they get older, they slowly look the same. And that's kind of odd to me. Cute. Okay, then let us do some saving. We'll save this just for fun. Now let's see. There we go. That can be closed. This can be closed. So yeah, I'll do that tutorial over the array for quest stuff and see if that gives us a little clearer definition between them all. Because I think that the code, I think Sarah's code is right for that particular version of the game, but that has changed. So hopefully we'll be able to find something that is cleaner there. Now somewhere here I opened up chat as a separate window, and that's this one here. That actually worked really, really well for me because I keep trying to see chat, but I also need to put things in the window. So okay, we're going to do this. And there we 2 minutes. Nothing is at the door. We do need to run to the mailbox. I think I can this video up over here. Talk about what we need to do to actually have it speak. I do have videos marked out to watch in regards to that. Allergic reaction, do you pull that out? I can't rule out allergic reaction. The problem is that it happens so infrequently that it's hard to tell. Because even today, it's like, okay, I had my regular breakfast, I had my regular coffee, took all my regular pills and vitamins, my blood pressure pills and just regular vitamin stuff. The only other thing that I had today that I haven't had for a while was one of those Clark bar things, but I don't know, maybe I'll go, let me see. I think I have a Claritin D in here somewhere. I'm going to take that and leave that over there. Claritin? No, that's not Claritin. I'll have to look after we're done. Okay then, let us finalize this up. Let me put that here. Need to close this off. Close that, open this. Put this in there. Apparently I never put out the announcement that we were going into the game dev section, so that kind of sucks, but we'll have it up on, it'll be up on YouTube in a little bit, so we'll be good. Just wanted to let the credits at least run once.